So true historical footage of one of the most sort of historic moments in probably the lives of most people in this room is gone forever to the ether because YouTube considered it disinformation, even though it was a stream of exactly what happened.
Which is pretty shocking, because I think that's often what you see happen when they are trying to come in and label what's disinformation. Is the government is the last entity that can and should be deciding what is disinformation. That's the last group we should be trusting with that. And we've often seen, you know, from January 6th to COVID to many other important incidents in country, what they're actually trying to do is limit information. That is the goal. And I think right now we have the age of information where never before we had somebody like you who could be there live streaming and give it directly to the people, right? There's this breakdown from the gatekeepers that's excellent, and I think that there's still work we have to do to try to break down those barriers further, but I personally feel like there's never been a better time to be in our shoes given some of the tools we have. What do you think? Would you say it's easier now, even given some of these factors we're up against, to get information and truth to the people, or would you say it's harder given the algorithms and the censorship?
I don't know. It's kind of tough to say. I think you know, I think there's a battle for information. You fill in, yeah.
I think that it's easier to find kind of whatever you want to find on the internet, but part of the problem is that because of the availability of this sort of technology, there is always going to be somebody who presents the exact opinion that you, whoever you are, whatever you think, you will find somebody who's prepared to back up that exact narrative. If you're interested in the idea, I'm really sure Hillary Clinton's a lizard, you're going to find somebody who's going to tell you on YouTube that that's the case. Or maybe not, maybe now BitChute or Rumble or something. So, I mean, I think that part of the problem is that people are going to end up in echo chambers of disinformation and so forth. And that's problematic in a way that I wouldn't solve using censorship. I wouldn't say that the solution to that is to take down those videos. But I do think it makes it more imperative to people who care to create information that is trustworthy, right? So my particular style is to use primary source documentary to sort of show this is what I'm talking about, and you can see it because I filmed it. And so every claim that I make online about something that happened is something that I can show and prove. The availability of sort of commentary type information where people just sit in front of a webcam and talk about whatever does make it possible for nonsense to exist on the internet, which is still a negative. Even if it's not a negative, I would solve by forcibly stopping that.
I think we should be having more debates, you know, face-to-face conversations, and, you know, even if it's on YouTube or on each other's platforms, you know, have counter narratives, you know, going at each other, and then let the people decide what's right.
Yeah, I think that's right, and I guess that brings me to a question where I would ask, do you think this is a failure of the free market, that people want to have what they think regurgitated to them, right? You don't see Americans looking to break out of their echo chambers, looking to find contrasting views. That's something I've always tried to do. If I hear an opinion and I'm curious about it, I try to go and find, well, what's the argument against it? And really try to understand like where the truth is in there. That's something that seems to be lacking in our society these days. Do you think that's something we can overcome? Is it just a problem with the market? Is it a problem with our education system?
Education system probably stems to what I'm about to say, but I think that it's largely a problem with culture. Where, so like, I'm somebody who is very curious. I do cover activism of kind of all sides and directions, and sometimes the activists who I'm filming really surprise me in the positions that they take.